on this important information that is being shared. So, formally, welcome to Tech Talk Tuesday. We are here with yet another talk with you. We have our experts with us today, and the topic that we have chosen for today is addressing diversity in the classroom. With me today is Gunjan Tomar and Nishu Singh. They've already introduced themselves. I'm just not going to waste your and my time in doing so. But once again, thank you so much for joining. For today's session, why we chose such a topic was because I think in today's classrooms, we have students that represent different races, cultures, socioeconomic backgrounds, and they speak many different languages. Well, furthermore, these students often exhibit a wide range of academic, physical, and social abilities and skills, and needless to say that they have different abilities, and we sit all in one classroom. Well, promoting diversity is a shared goal for many of our classrooms. But actually achieving this goal in day-to-day classroom is often hard to achieve. And I can see many of you smile at that. Well, yes, I can read you behind the screens. The goal of today's session is to highlight a few of the strategies to address some key challenges and concerns in promoting diversity and illustrate ways to incorporate an understanding of diversity in our classrooms and just go beyond using technology. So here I am giving it over to both Gunjan and Nishu to take you forward. I'm here.
Thank you very
My
much.
eye is on the chat window. Please do put in your comments, queries, questions. We're all around to catch them. So once again, thank you for joining. Over to you, Gunjan and Nishu. Thank you.
Yeah, can we have the next slide, please? Yeah, this is what a child is telling to his parent in the visual. Why is A or B better than C or D? Aren't all letters equal in the eyes of God? Don't you think here the child's statement is so relevant and relates so well to our classroom teaching practices where all students are taught or assessed on one common content using the way of testing their knowledge and understanding? This reminds me of Einstein's quote: if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will live its whole life believing that it is stupid. 21st century classrooms are the classrooms which give freedom to the learner to express their understanding through the medium of their choices and focuses on understanding different perspectives of the same concept, enabling authentic learning in classrooms.
Tell me one thing, Gunjan. When we all understand how a classroom with diverse learning needs contributes towards meaningful and engaging learning, then why are we not able to implement the same?
Nishu, we try to implement it to the best of our abilities, but there are various challenges that we encounter as mainstream facilitators, such as reading challenge, writing challenge, and dealing with distractions in classroom.
So, what are the solution to these problems?
Nishu, the only solution that I can see to overcome these challenges is making learning accessible for all learners. That is inclusion. This is so beautifully explained in this slide. Empowerment begins with inclusion. Students would rather go without than stand out. We need to move from assuming access to ensuring access in classrooms.
Hmm. Now what?
Nishu, now we have only two options: to be or not to be. And being a part of Microsoft community, we certainly choose to be because challenges are what make life interesting. Overcoming them is what makes it meaningful. And we, as facilitators, are here to make our students' learning meaningful for them.
That's the spirit, Gunjan. So, let's move on and address.
Gunjan, may I please request you to unmute yourself again?
Okay, so sorry.
Not at all.
Okay. Can we change the slide?
Yeah, I'll run the slide. Don't worry.
Okay. Okay.
So, Gunjan, the first challenge. So, let's look at the different learning styles in the same classroom. How can we do this? It seems to be a difficult task.
Here, the concept of multi-sensory approach towards learning come into the picture, Nishu. Learning styles, which means multiple intelligences that make the classroom diverse. Here is a short explanation of all the multiple intelligences and MS tool, which will be helpful for this. And you can refer to the slide, which is shown here. It talks about linguistic learners and the tools, naturalistic learner, kinesthetic learner, logical learners, interpersonal and intrapersonal learners. Next.
The challenge.
Nishu, the second challenge talks about reading. What kind of challenge do you face in classrooms when it comes to reading the text?
Generally, there are many challenges that I face in the classroom. Sometimes students find the text size too small to read and become comfortable while reading when the text size is increased. Another challenge while reading is that some children find it difficult to read the text if the words or the letters are too closely packed in the text. Some students, their whole emphasis is on the reading, and then the comprehension takes a backseat for them. And one more thing which I have noticed is omitting a line while reading. All these factors might seem small but need a great deal of intervention.
You're right, Nishu. The challenges shared by you can be overcome by using a magic wand of MS tools, which is called Learning Tool. Learning tools, which are now in Word Online, OneNote, and MS Edge using Bing search engine on various endpoints, helps people improve their reading skills, including gifted learner as well as students with learning differences. The learners can read the text in reading mode. This arranges the text in the format of a page. The capital A icon, if you can see on the screen, that you can see increases the font size as per the learner's requirement. Learner can increase the space between the words to improve the legibility. As you have mentioned, Nishu, sometimes when children read, they skip lines while reading because on a white background, it sometimes becomes difficult for a student to focus on the text. With the option of changing page color, which you can see under themes here in the slide, helps the learner to change the color of the page and text to suit his or her needs, thus enabling his or her reading ability.
Awesome. Can these features be used on interactive whiteboards also?
Certainly, Nishu.
But Kunchan, some children also find it difficult to read according to their grade level. How can these learners be helped in the classroom situation?
This can be done by, can we change the slide, Minakshi? Some of the students reading is a big challenge. If we turn on option of syllable, it helps the reader to break the word and blend it to read the same effectively. Reading mode reads the text for the learner, which reduces the burden of blending the sounds to read the words and putting the words together to comprehend the text at the same time. The pace of reading can be personalized according to the reader's need.
Oh, really? It can be personalized in this?
Yeah, it is also a feature of, it also has a feature of dictionary, picture dictionary to help the user understand the meaning of the words as visual. Line focus keeps a focus while reading on the line that has been read, thus facilitating easy reading and increased recognition of words for the learner.
But sometimes students who manage to read are unable to comprehend. Can you suggest something for them too?
Nishu, these type of challenges are encountered by students who are at beginners reading stage. They try hard to read the text, and in the process of reading the text, The focus is completely on decoding the sounds to read. In this laborious process, the comprehension takes a back seat. For such students, an option reading mode is again the solution. Here, the reader just has to listen to the text being read. This text gets highlighted while reading, thus enhancing word attack skills of the students. And instead of keeping the focus on decoding and reading, now the focus shifts to comprehending the text, thus enhancing the comprehension skills of the students. I am using the reading mode of learning tools for listening assignments for my students in school. This has helped them tremendously in improving their listening skills and comprehension skills. The advantage of reader mode is that the text is read in monotone.
Oh, monotone meaning using one tone without voice modulation?
True, Nishu. This challenges the learner to comprehend the text by listening to it carefully to be able to follow up the assignments effectively.
Amazing. These are really very useful tips and are easily doable in a classroom scenario. Kunjan, we also get to see students struggling with writing in class. It is difficult for them to take notes in the class, as a result of which the sequence of information is incomplete. Now, this impacts their process of learning adversely.
This is also another common challenge encountered by students, Nishu. These students are able to answer or contribute meaningfully verbally, but find it challenging to do so in writing.
I think we lost you there, Gunjan. Are you there?
No, she is not
It is
there.
Okay.
automatically
So
becoming mute.
till Gunjan joins back and Nishu joins back,
Yes,
let
can
me
you
just
hear
check on
us?
the status.
Meenakshi, can you hear us?
Let me just talk to
Yes.
you about what they were talking about. For the writing challenges, what is beautiful is Microsoft has this offering wherein you can actually dictate to your system and it'll write. I'll just hold on or pause a minute to see if Kunjan is back. Kunjan, are you back? I can see you there.
Yes, Meenakshi, can you hear us?
Yes, you are audible, Gunjan ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Be a little
So,
loud. You are audible.
okay. So,
Okay, great. Kunjan, now you're audible. Go ahead, please.
Should we start from dictate?
can you
Yes,
hear us?
you can talk about dictate feature. Yes.
Yes, dictate feature.
Dictate is a free add-in available for all Office apps that users can install on their devices and use speech to text. This is an excellent tool for the students who face difficulty in writing. Now, as per CBSE and IB board, the learner can get accommodations like typing and speech to text, depending on the level of the challenge the learner is facing for doing his or her assignments.
Uh, that's brilliant. That means catering to the needs of the diverse learners, which seem to be a dream has come true. Can you hear us,
There is
Meenakshi?
too much of voice.
Can you hear us, Meenakshi? Are we clear?
Yes, but there's a lot of echoing.
There is a lot of echoing. Okay. Yeah. Does it make it better now?
Certainly, certainly.
Yeah. Again, there is echoing, is what I hear. Is it any better?
Rita, can you check if everybody's on mute?
Everyone is on mute.
Clear it all.
I've tried this again. Can you now start speaking, Nishu and Gunjan, please?
Yeah.
Go ahead. This seems
So
done. So go ahead.
Can you
Yeah.
change the slide?
Meenakshi, just change the slide. Make it the next one. Yeah, thank you.
Sorry.
That's okay.
You go on, I'll change this.
Yes. Another difficulty that the students face is the inability to understand grammar part of it, which grammar concepts like nouns, verbs, adjectives. Does Microsoft have any solution for that problem?
Certainly, Nishu. The parts of speech feature helps the learner to identify them in the text read, which makes reading more meaningful and engaging as the learner is able to understand the application of the parts of speech in text. You can see the same in the slide shown. The noun will, if you turn them on, the noun will get highlighted with purple, verbs with red, adjectives with green, and adverbs with yellow.
So, Gunjan, also, I just wanted to ask you that nowadays that learning is beyond the textbooks. We can see that
True.
many students struggle to research the uh, appropriate content from the ocean of information available on the internet, and then definitely organizing it, keeping it safely for future use, and incorporating it in the selected text for the assignment becomes a mammoth task.
Yes, Nishu, this is indeed a challenge, but Microsoft has solution to this problem too.
Really?
Yes, Nishu. Microsoft Edge has an option of reading in Bing and has all the features of learning tools in Bing. The learner can highlight the text, underline the text read, annotate it, search the words, and do anything and everything that learning tools can do. Isn't it fantastic? With the feature of saving the web page and mailing it to anyone, this additional feature becomes icing on the cake.
Oh, this is quite impressive. Now the research will be easier and interesting for the students as well as the facilitators too.
Yeah, this video will help us to understand the features. Minakshi, would you like to
Say some.
explain this to everyone?
What I'm going to do is, in the interest of time, I think I'm going to speak on the other side. What I've just received a message from Aarti ma'am is that she has to leave for the airport. So what we can do is we can take a pause here, if that's all right with you, Gunjan and Ishu.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
sure.
Yeah. Can we please take a pause here? I would love to elaborate on what you've just said, and I'll just jump right back in after we have taken Aarti ma'am on. There is something very valuable that Aarti ma'am has to share with us, and what I'm going to do is thank you so much for accommodating this, both of you. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give the floor to Aarti ma'am, who has to leave for the airport, but she's still very enthusiastic for sharing what she has to share with us. So, Aarti ma'am, the floor is all yours. As soon as you're ready to take it, please go ahead. And thank you, Gunjan and Nishu, again for accommodating this.
Yeah, thank you, Meenakshi.
Yeah.
It's again very nice to be part of Tech Tuesday. Yesterday, when I was there at Microsoft office, I was telling them all what a great thing that we all are doing. And what they told me was, "Oh wow, we really like this word, Tech Tuesday. And how do you all manage it?" So I was able to send the message even in the Redmond yesterday that we are doing something really great every Tuesday back in India. Are you able to see my
Fantastic. That is
screen?
why your leadership is so important to us, because I know you're a very valuable voice that you carry around the globe. So, thank you for that.
Is my screen visible?
Not yet.
Okay. Uh, is it visible now?
Not yet, but I think you can start talking. It might take some time to load. That's all right.
All right. So I would just like to explain that I was here on a private visit to US on a family visit on a holiday, but I decided that my visit would not be complete unless I visited a few schools and taken the real experience of what education is like in the US. So I happened to visit a couple of schools and I just wanted to share my learning experience. One of the schools that I visited is a Microsoft Showcase school. It's called Renton Prep Christian School in Seattle. Meenakshi, if they're not able to see the screen, you can run the PPT from my end.
Yeah,
is
we're
it
not able to see the screen and I don't have access to your PPT. But don't worry, we'll bring it as, I mean, just in case you can load it again, it'll be great. Otherwise, possibly
I,
next share the pictures then.
okay, so
We can see it now. Okay,
you
if
can
this
see, wow.
we can see your screen, but we can't see your presentation. If you can click on the PPT, please. Perfect. Now we can see it.
Okay, great. So this is Renton Prep Christian School in Seattle. Renton Prep is a school that is from grade 1 to 10. And this school has a very, very powerful leaders too. So what I found in this school is that all the teachers were enthused with technology and the students were all working one to one. They all had Surface Pro with them, little ones, even in grade 3, 4, 5, and 6 were using technology like anything. There was full support of the management too. And one could see that the management was giving full support to the teachers as well as the students. There was a whole lot of creativity in the air. There was good communication skills that the children were talking. There was collaboration mode in which they were working with each other, and the critical thinking skills that they all were using. So a grade 5 student was able to explain to me beautifully how they are using this team concept to build a big project in collaboration with each other, where they are making a compost pit back in the garden of the school, and they are going to work on it, and they are going to present it with the help of a sway to their parents after 2 or 3 days. So I was really impressed with the way each and every child was able to explain. You see, when we have all these Microsoft conferences and we see the adults talking, the right kind of pauses and intonation that they have, each and every kid of 5, 6, 7, and 8 was able to talk in the same manner. All the classrooms were learning centric. Technology based solutions were provided for each and everything. There were no walls in the classrooms. There was a lot of harmony between the teachers as well as the students. No one was telling the children to be quiet or to walk in a line. The children were learning by themselves. There was interdisciplinary approach that they were using, and of course one to one device was used. Two of the projects that I saw, one was based on SDG and the other where there was interdisciplinary learning being used, where the child was using statistical analysis, English and history all in one project, which was presented with the help of Minecraft. uh, the next thing is the look of the classrooms. After I saw the classrooms, I began talking to the children. I have penned down, I have written a few of their quotes. Some of them are using Minecraft, some of them are using Sway, and they're using quizzes and presenting it on the forms. They were learning about deserts and different landforms. So this was being learned through a game and not through a statistical thing or a static video, the way normally we do it, that we show them a video and we say, look, this is a desert. So they were playing a game and they were going up and down. And it was like, okay, because there is sand, so this is how I have to walk. And now, there's no water around. So the experiential learning that was happening with the help of technology was amazing. So I could see that there were future ready schools and there was unstructured curriculum. The parents were equally participative. The next day they were going to have STEAM fair and the parents were going to be invited. Another school that I happened to visit was Ella Baker Elementary School in Seattle. It is still grade 5. This is the picture of the principal, Kim Blanco, who is working on two concepts. One is service learning, which was beautiful concept. It's a form of experiential learning where the learning occurs through a cycle of action and reflection, and the students work with the community. For example, the students were working again on a project to conserve electricity with the help of the community. They have Ella Baker's 8 traits, and they call it the Baker 8 traits: curiosity, empathy, grit, gratitude, integrity, optimism, embracing diversity. We all have different concepts in our school, but the way this concept was taken up was beautiful. They all were having, every classroom was having a concept of the change maker. Each classroom had to select and they had to present it at the entry wall of their classroom. Every child was supposed to make a project on it for the whole year, and actually believe in the change makers, work. The gifted students of the class, they were taught separately, and they were taught higher levels of mathematics and science. They were given recognition by giving them, the beer badges. It was Ella Baker's beers, and the beers were given the badges to recognize them. And they all used to live in a den. So there was no classrooms, but the classrooms were called as dens. And these are the projects that they were doing with the help of compost. They were trying to create little things, which was again going to be demonstrated. And then I presented them our Global Times newspaper, which in Amity Children. But what I really liked was that they were having their own television channel, BBTV, Baker Bear Television. Grade 4 and 5 children were having their own TV channel, and they were making, their own programs and airing it. That was simply awesome. And this is the class whose picture I've shown, where they were to be editors, for film shooting, they were training them up. So this was a great experience I had in the classroom. What I felt the limitations in our Indian schools and the solutions that I could offer was that our curriculum is too structured. Yes, we follow a board, that's fine. But what we could also do is to make our curriculum interdisciplinary. Am I audible? There is teacher-led instruction, and if it is done with experiential learning, it could make the students more beneficial. The text is given much more importance over the research in our schools in India. I think if we could make it more child-friendly and make students co-learners along with teachers and presenters, it'll be good. Knowledge is given more importance, whereas skills are more important here. So I feel that knowledge and skills need to be combined to make the education wholesome. The IT integration at times is limited. I think we could do more. Of course, where there's a will, there's a way. And I happened to visit Redmond yesterday to meet, the Lauren Lyron. She is the business program manager of all the Edu Products team, and who is the product manager of a new thing that's coming up that's called Fleet, and Derek, who's a design manager, who explained to me about emotional and social intelligence, which is right now on top priority. And I explained to them that today we have an educator, Gunjan Tomar from India, who's talking about the emotional learning only, and we are also on the same track. So congratulations to the entire team for Tech Tuesday. I think we are at par with what Microsoft is doing in Seattle here. Thank you so much. I really enjoyed presenting. If there are any questions, please ask.
Fantastic. I think it's always a pleasure hearing your words, your thoughts, and the enthusiasm in your voice. It's just so contagious. Thank you so very much. I think we have loads that we would take away. And what I would do is I would actually take that slide number 18 of yours and, put it out in front of people, have a discussion forum run on that, post this, call. I want this channel really running with comments and discussions about what can be done in our classrooms. It's very
Yeah.
easy for us to just jump in to say that, let's do something. What is that something is what we must define. And I think, Aarti ma'am, you've just initiated that. Yes, this slide is beautiful. I would just request you to share a picture of this slide with us in our chat window if possible. And we'll take it
Right.
forward from here. Thank you so much and have
Thank you,
safe
Meenakshi.
travels ahead.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay, so taking the talks forward and moving ahead from where we were after such enriching, I think, experience, what we also need to see. So, where is the enablement? How do we enable our classrooms? Here's something that we can do to enable our classrooms. I'm just going to run my slideshow a little faster in the interest of time. I'm very mindful that you will need to go away. So while you're researching, bring in this very interesting tool. Use a combination of Edge as your browser and Bing being your search engine. Well, when you do that, let's say I'm looking for a term. Let's say I'm looking up for photosynthesis. What happens is when I'm looking for photosynthesis, number of websites get displayed in front of me, and I get into one. Let's say Britannica. If the book on the top right corner, that this book highlighted, this
लास्ट वाला लास्ट
this
में चलेगा
that
ये
could you may I request you to stay on mute, please?
मैं नहीं बोल रही
Sure.
So if this book gets highlighted, then you see what happens here is the entire text that is there on the left and the right side goes away, and the content that you need to focus on comes into focus. So our students can actually focus on what needs to be read. And what else? I can create an actual web page assignment right from here because my learning tools are built in here. My ability to put in comments to create a kind of an assignment as I'm creating here. I can also use my abilities to highlight text or put in scribble some notes on it. So I have all the abilities of the reader mode and all the abilities of writing and choosing the highlighter or the text size or the pen size for that matter, and also converting this directly into a web page using the share button. If you use the share button directly from here, you can convert this very page in this very format into a web page in OneNote. So you can quickly assign that into your class notebook and distribute that in your classroom. I think that just brings in focus on learning and just helps create that focus for our students and for our teachers both. I hope this has been insightful. I'm going to give this back to Gunjan and Nishu to take you further on more examples from the classrooms. Gunjan, the floor is all yours.
Yeah, thank you. And actually, this is another example of from my classroom about what you were talking about the features of Bing. I did the same in my classroom. Can we have the next slide, please? This is what we did in our classroom for empowering children to take responsibility of their own learning. And we created a class-wise Excel OneDrive, and the class teacher shared it with the subject teachers. On the Excel sheet, the subject teachers shared things that worked with students and also the things that did not work in the classroom. This gave other facilitators an idea of the strategies to be implemented in classrooms for making an effective and impactful classroom for students. Also, this served as a platform for sharing good practices. This was understanding each and every child as per his abilities and customizing the classroom as per the student's needs. For the students who were struggling with academics, a common document was shared with the parent wherein update of student submission of assignments was done on a regular basis. This helped the parent to keep a track of the student's learning in school and to support him or her appropriately. This was all done on Microsoft Excel Online. Nishu, majority of the challenges of addressing diversity can be resolved if we empower the students by taking responsibility of their learning.
Is it? But how is that possible, Gunjan?
This is super easy, Nishu. Here are some examples that I implemented and that have enhanced students' understanding by leaps and bounds. Can we change the slide, Meenakshi? In this slide, you can see a comprehension passage created in forms. This I did it with my grade 8 students. I asked them to find some authentic website to gather information about cyber safety. The students collated the website on the online Word document, which was shared with each one of them. Using the information shared in the link, they created a comprehension assessment for grade 6 and 7 students.
Was there a checklist given for these or some kind of a blueprint?
Yeah, Nishu, we had asked them to include MCQs, short answer, long answer, and hot question, and also to make answer scripts for the questions that they have made exactly the way which we do with our students in classroom. So this process helped and empowered the students with the knowledge about cyber safety. They understood the text to formulate meaningful questions, finding their answers to make answer scripts for the students of grade 6 and 7 to self-assess their work. Self as well as peer assessment of formulated questions help them to understand the objective of formulating questions from the audience's perspective. Another example where my student was not able to remember what she did in school, as a result of which it was impossible for the parent to help her to do her home assignment. We helped the student to maintain her record of what she did in class on Excel online, which was also shared with the parent. This was just a 5 minutes task, which she did during replay time or coming back from lunch a little early to update her daily schedule in school. But the kind of impact it had on her learning was great. This was very helpful as the student could remember or refer to this document to recall what was done in class and was also able to establish a connection in her learning while doing her assignments. The next example is the that was formed in the form of quiz using forms to prepare students for NFLAT, which is a financial literacy program. Similar forms were used for Olympiad preparation also.
Oh, now I get it. So, last but not the least, here is a graphic which tells us about the availability of various features in Microsoft Tools.
In the end, we would like to reiterate what Ken Robinson said. Teaching is not a delivery system, it's an art form. So, dear facilitators, be as creative as you can in the classrooms, and diversity will automatically be taken care of.
Hope you enjoyed this session and have lots of takeaway for your classrooms. Please share them.
Thank you, Gunjan and Nishu. This is
Thank you.
absolutely great. Thank you for sharing all those challenges which we face and we were really looking answers for. And I think Microsoft is here to provide those answers. I'm going to encourage every participant in our audience today to please do try and visit the given link, the deployment guide. And if one of our team members, anybody, Doita, Jyoti, Shelly, or Gunjan, Nishu, somebody should actually put this in our chat window so that people can actually go into this inclusive deployment guide and learn from it. It has loads to tell you where to access because for us, I think for so many years we've heard that accessibility tools are available in OneNote. Well, very few know that they are available through Word, Outlook, even Outlook. Yeah, so Teams and Flipgrid and what's not mentioned here, I guess, is Minecraft. Even within Minecraft, you will find learning tools, and it is absolutely awesome and a must explore. So, thank you again, both of you. Yeah, so very important to hear voices and thoughts of people like Sir Ken Robinson, and thank you for bringing these thoughts to us. It's a beautiful thought.
Thank
Taking
you,
you away
Minachi.
from this world, yeah, thank you, Kunji. So, taking you away from this to what I had spoken about last time because I'm very, very mindful of the time. I'm taking 10 minutes extra here of your time. I'm going to make it 15 actually, without looking at the chat window if there are any questions. But here's the announcement to our event, what we have been waiting for. The event is called Adobe School Leaders Summit. The whole focus is on creating a culture of creativity. And yes, the future lies in creativity. Please mark two dates. For all educators, the date is 10th of July. And for all school leaders, the date is 11th of July. Our registrations are open. We are going to do a set of 4 webinars with Adobe, and they are scheduled on 21st and 22nd of July. The 4 webinars scheduled, the schedule for all the 4 webinars will be shared with you over the social media and all media possible. And we will also be sending out emails to you. But if you use this link, which is a super simple link, you will be able to find your way into the registration, which is bit.ly/ASLS19. Please be very mindful of the lowercase and the uppercase. ASLS is Adobe School Leaders Summit, so it's easy to remember. It's ASLS 19. So please go there, start registering. We have limited seats here. This is open to every educator across the country. We highly encourage you to participate in this whole event. So let me just read out or just spell out. Actually, I don't even have a paper to read, but then let me just spell out what the event is going to be like. So starting today, we are starting registrations. By 21st and 22nd, we should have registered. You should have registered for the webinars. The link for the webinar will be shared with you through an email that will also confirm your participation in the Adobe School Leaders Summit. We will be sharing with you the link over an email, and also we'll be posting it to you, and most probably you should get a call from our end. Even if you don't get the call, you get an email, please do join us. The link will be shared, like I said, not only through our emails but also through social media by tagging you. And what I would appreciate is if you could be block your time from now itself. It's 11 a.m. The first webinar will be held. The title would be Creativity and Innovation. The second will happen on 21st itself at about 4 p.m. And the session title will be Creativity and Collaboration. The third one in the running would be on 22nd at 11 a.m. Again, I'm rattling this out to you, but you will have it all very well defined for you, so you don't need to worry. So, but for 22nd at 11 a.m., we will be talking about creativity and diversity. And the fourth one on 22nd at 4 p.m. will be about uh, um, creativity and collaboration and communication. So these are the four themes. These are the four pillars on which we are running. The educators, we have about 150 seats only. So we are expecting that educators will be divided into four themes of creativity and innovation, creativity and collaboration, creativity and diversity, creativity and communication. So while you're given these as your themes, you'll be working within your groups, designing a project using Adobe tools, primarily Adobe Spark. Along with that, we will be talking about one or two or tools. We have Ben Forta, who is our education director, US, and he is traveling here to host a training for you, which will happen on 10th. So on 10th of July, we will be starting at 9 a.m. with registrations. By 10, we will be starting with our, the whole session. There will be a 2-hour training session with Ben Forta, post which you will be shared, a project will be shared with you, which you will have to work in a group, post which you will be presenting. So you're working in the same day from 9 to 6. So post which you will work within your groups to create a project. We will be your mentors and we will be mentoring you out there. You will then finalize your projects and showcase these projects in front of a jury. So there will be 4 rooms. You will be going to your own theme room for that jury presentation. You will showcase as a group, and then out of the 9 groups that will be presenting to each of those theme rooms, 3 groups will be selected to participate on 11th. I think this is a lot to digest, but I'm just putting it in front of you right now. Out of those 3 groups, the top runner are the first, sorry, the first, second, and the third. The 3 top runners from each of the themes will be invited on 11th July to participate in Adobe School Leaders Summit, and you will be awarded suitably. You will get a chance to present your project in front of a large audience of about 200 school educators, leaders, many of them being stakeholders in various positions. So it's super exciting. I hope you're ready. If you haven't tried Spark yet, please do. If you still don't have access to Adobe Spark, please connect with us. Send me an email ID, send me a message. We would love to have you on. We would love to give you access of Spark. Adobe Spark is offered free of cost to all students, all educators across the country. So here's an open invitation for you to take that opportunity and make the most of it. So if you're excited about it, give me a thumbs up in the chat window. I really would like to see a number of thumbs up out there.
I have
And
lost chat window.
yeah, so please do put in your thumbs up in the chat window, and I would love to see number of thumbs ups out there.
So
We
I'm
look forward to your registration, your participation in this event, and we would love to see you at the event. Any questions or queries, please post them there. I've just in a breath explained you the whole event, but I assure you we have a dedicated website for this. We will be sharing all of that very soon with you. Just about a few hours, and our website will be live. Social media will be flooded. School News and The Pedagogics are the partners who are running this entire program for Adobe. School News being the outreach partner, and The Pedagogics being the very proud knowledge partner and the only knowledge partner here. So we're very excited. I hope we've excited you enough to join us. And I hope you are trying to send us a thumbs up in our chat window. Any questions or queries, I'm happy to answer. Otherwise, thank you so much for joining once again. Here's something. I have my promo code here. We're going to post that, and I'm going to request Nishu and Gunjan to share their promo codes. Please use only the top promo code, not the second one. I'm going to take that away right away so that we don't misuse these with us. Okay, so I have posted mine here. Gunjan and Nishu are going to post theirs in the chat window. Please do use these. And next week, I'm going to see you with artificial intelligence in education. I know that's a topic that is running very hot in schools these days. CBSE has dropped a 6-1 over here by saying include artificial intelligence in your curriculum. And here we are to your rescue. We are sure you will be there to talk about this, and we are going to take forward our talks on artificial intelligence in our next session on 25th of June. So you'll meet me number of times starting from today till 25th. We're going to stay connected. You have multiple chances to connect with us. Please do connect with us.
Hello, Meenakshi.
Thank you. Yeah,
Try
hi.
to
I
keep
have
in
a
the
voice.
evening.
I have a voice in the audience. Just a minute. Yes, Shafali, please go ahead.
Yes, please try to keep in the evening all the webinars.
Shifali, I hear you, but I can only accommodate as much. Therefore, what we have done is we are keeping recording of all the sessions. There are some teachers who would like it in the morning at 11, and there are a few who would like it at 4. Therefore, keeping both the things in consideration, we try and accommodate all.
Right, nahi hai mere paas. You can't send a message because you
Gunjan, can you please mute yourself?
are. Sorry, Meenakshi.
Thank you.
You need to mute yourself, please, Gunjan.
Sorry.
Yeah, Shifali, I hope that's all right, because the recording is something that we will share with you, I assure you. And we do look at your leadership to spread the word about this Adobe event. Very soon, I'll be tagging all of you in all social media so that you can spread the word and, of course, be a part of it.
Yes. Thank you.
Fantastic. Any questions that I can answer for anybody? I'm happy to take any questions if we have. I don't see people typing in the chat window today. So if you want to unmute yourself and talk, I'm happy to take you there. Mrs. Dillon, if you're there, yes, I think I can see you. You're here. An urge and a request, please block your dates. I also saw, I think I saw Pratibha ma'am. Pratibha ma'am, please block your date. I've already told you 11th is your date with us. We would love to have you and your educators on 10th. So please just help us spread the word, and let's see some participation out there.
Meenakshi, can I say something here? We cannot
please.
post the messages in the message chat window. I don't know.
Yeah,
Really?
today there's a problem.
You can't send message because you are not a member of the chat.
Yeah.
Okay. So I will just see. Okay, you know what? You can just unmute yourself to talk. I'm okay with that. I'm just going to check my settings as to what the issue is, because we did not enable any such setting. So
Message. You are able to type and send it. Ma'am.
Yes.
Click on the arrow.
Meenakshi ma'am, good evening. This is Sharda from Kamala Nehru Public School.
hi Sharda, good evening. How are you? Good to see you here.
Great. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Yes, we are unable to type the message because the option is disabled.
Can't hear
Yes,
you,
we are.
dear. Your voice is breaking. Yeah, Sharda, please go ahead.
Thank you. We are unable to type the message in the chat window. The option shows disabled, as the other educators said. So
Yeah.
definitely I'll put this forward and take the message to all my other educators, and we would be more than happy to join the Adobe webinars as per the dates you have specified.
Fantastic. Thank you. I always see that enthusiasm from your school. Therefore, I just gave a shout out there. Thank you so very much, Shraddha.
Sure.
I
Thank you, ma'am.
understand and I appreciate your time with us today. So thank you so very much. I'm going to stop recording, but I'm still here to take any questions, queries, anything that you have to say or do. I'm right here. Thank you so very much. See you on 25th. Let's meet and talk about artificial intelligence that day. Bye bye.
Thank you.